Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Instagram. This is your Facebook pastor and friend, your YouTube motivation, your YouTube motivator, and your Instagram inspirer, Eric McCright, Coach Mac McCright, Pastor E.B. McCright, coming to you live with an impromptu dive in check in. So we're excited about this opportunity to be able to come in and share with you. Nowadays, I don't just get on unless it's something vitally important that I have to say, something that has been dropped in my spirit, or something that's a revelation that I get, or something powerful that I hear, that I jump on. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to talk about the osmosis of execution. Yeah, the osmosis of execution. And so the word osmosis, I looked it up. Basically, the simple definition is that it's the transference of water from one place to another. That's basically the definition, or the simple skinny of the word osmosis. Osmosis means to move something. It means to, we used to say back in the day, move something, light it up, fire it up. You know what I'm saying? Get it going. You got to get going. Not only get going, but you got to stick with it and stay with it and do what's necessary in order for you to accomplish. But the reason why I want to talk about execution, I heard a powerful quote yesterday. This brother on Instagram was talking, and he said something that was so powerful that it caused me to just want to get on here today to talk about the osmosis of execution. Here's what he said. He said, in this age of social media, in this age of all of this information that we're able to get, here's what he said. He said, we are addicted to information, but we're allergic to execution. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. He said, we are addicted to information, but we're allergic to execution. And man, when I heard that, I was like, wow, that is awesome, because there are a lot of us, we've had a lot of opportunities. We went to seminars, we went to conferences, we've got all kind of paperwork. I know I've got all kind of strategies. I've got all kind of different, whatever, to go and grow ideas, concepts. And I've got a lot of information. God bless you, Apostle Crockett. So I've got a lot of information, but the thing is, what have I done with it? Now, I have been a procrastinator. I'm just going to admit, I've been a procrastinator by trade, and I'm learning and I'm training myself to start executing more, because I have been addicted to information, but allergic to execution. Now, let me give you my reason. It's not a real good reason, but the reason why I've been allergic to execution, because in times past, I've attempted some things. And when I've attempted them and they failed, I gave up. I'm going to confess. Y'all pray for me. I gave up. I just threw in the towel. I'm like, man, it's not going to work. And so what happens is when you, for me, when I failed, then I was like, what's the point of trying to do it again? What's the point of trying to get it done again? But you got to get back up and go for it, because failure is a part of success. Failure, you have to fail. If you're going to be substantially successful, you have to fail. Failure causes you to appreciate when you get a win. All right. And so you must understand that and recognize that we've got to get to the place where we get back up again, regardless of what it looks like, regardless of how we feel about it, regardless of the pain that we have to go through. We got to move from being addicted, and we get information all the time. Man, there are people that are becoming millionaires every day off of the stuff that we see on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube. People are becoming millionaires. You want to know why? Because they have the osmosis of execution. They don't just sit on the addictive information. They don't just sit with a lot of information. They don't just sit on because like I said, got a lot of books, got a lot of workbooks, got all kind of templates and all of that stuff. But nothing has happened and transpired for most of us is because we're addicted to information and we're allergic to execution. And I'm making a declaring call today that I'm going to be about execution. I got to get stuff done. Like when I get off this live, I'm going to hear some things that I don't want to deal with. But you got to go ahead and deal with it, because success, once again, success ain't dealing with how you feel. people who are rich and powerful and wealthy. It's not they didn't get their way by sitting around just, you know what I'm saying? They had to go for it. They had to get up when they didn't want to get up. They had to do things. They had to do things that they didn't want to do in order to get to the place where they could do what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Denzel Washington that said, you have to do what you got to do so that one day you'll be able to do what you want to do. But you can't start out doing what you want to do if you haven't done what you need to do, if that makes sense. So we got to get to the place. And I want y'all to like and share, if you will. And I haven't done this in a while. I haven't done the 3 tiers, 4 tiers or whatever in a while. But I just felt compelled to get on here to say to all of you great leaders, you visionaries, man, you got to move from being addicted to information and you got to get move from being addicted to information and allergic to execution. We got to execute. We got to get it done. You got to put your hand. The Bible even says, he that put his hand to the plow and looking back is not fit for the kingdom. And we don't pay that much attention to what Jesus said right there, that when you put your hand to the plow, once you get the information, you got to execute. If you looking back and not focused on what you're supposed to do, you're not fit for the kingdom, because the kingdom is about execution. Everything about God is about execution. And if we are created in God's image, which we are, and if we are in his likeness and he has given us dominion, then we have to be those that will execute. You understand what I'm saying? We've got to get to that place where we start executing. And I have to repent to God, and I'm confessing it, that I put things to the side, because when it gets hard, man, and you got life going on, you just say, well, you know what? I'll do it another time. And it always feel good to a procrastinator. Trust me, I know. It always feel good to say, I'm going to do it tomorrow, or I'll do it later on, or I'll do it next week, or you get excited because you pushed it off now, but it doesn't change anything. If you're going to change something, you got to move forward. You got to make it happen. And so the osmosis of execution is, you've got to push that execution into the information that you receive. You got to put that information to work. Like I said, God is an executor. He executes. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. He's moving, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness covered the face of the deep. And the spirit of God moved across the face of the water. And God said, "Let there be light." When you see Genesis, when you see the creation process, God is execution. God is executing. He takes the information that he has within himself, and he begins to operate in that information that he has. He creates, and that same power is on the inside of us. But we got to make up our minds. We got to make a choice today that we've got to start executing. We got to stop being, and once again, we scroll, and we're getting a lot of information. I got a lot of stuff saved in my Instagram. I got a lot of stuff saved on Facebook. I got a lot of stuff saved on YouTube, but that's just information. If I'm not going to do anything with it, then what's the point? If you paid to go to that conference on how to have a better church and how to do this and how to do that, or business or whatever, if you went and paid for that conference and got a hotel room and did all that and paid for the registration and paid for all that, and you got all these bundles of workbooks and stuff like I have, you got all this stuff and you ain't done nothing with it. You ain't done nothing with it. Good morning, Val B. Yeah, if you haven't done anything with it, then what's the point? You got to execute. Once again, here it is again. We are addicted to information, but we're allergic to execution. Val B just jumped on. She talked about last night accountability and consistency. I think that's what it was, accountability and consistency. Well, guess what? You got to start. We got to stop just getting all this information and getting all this stuff. And so at my church, we got one service. New wine at 9, from 9 to 10, maybe 10:15 if I get happy. And we don't have a lot of go to a lot of services. We don't go to a lot of bunch of other programs and all that stuff. You want to know why? Because I want to give my people a chance to execute the sermon that they just got. So if you got your own worship service, then you got a 3:00 program, then you got Sunday night service, and then you got this and you got that. When are we gonna get an opportunity to execute the message that we receive. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to get to the place where you will get the information. We got enough information. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we got enough information. Good morning, Bernie Mac. We got enough information. Now we got to execute it. I don't need no more information. For everything that I've asked God for, I have enough information to get it done. But I got to stop being allergic to execution. And once again, I have been a procrastinator because of previous failures. When I tried to do something, I failed. And when you fail, man, and you try it again, and you keep failing, then you get to the place where you don't want to try, and you'll condition yourself. You'll condition yourself to not go for it. You'll tell yourself, well, maybe that ain't the will of God. No, maybe you need to be, as Val B said last night, maybe you need to be consistent and accountable. Maybe you need to just get up. Like I said, when I get off here today, I got some stuff that I got to dive into that I do not want to dive into. But I got the information. Watch this. If you got information for success, but you don't utilize it, what's the point? What's the point? Once again, we done been to conferences. We done been to seminars. We done been to all these different things. We done downloaded a whole bunch of stuff. We done did all of this, but yet and still, we haven't moved. Why haven't we moved? Because we're allergic to execution. It's not going to just come out of nowhere. You got to do something. I hope y'all listening to me. You got to get to the place where you take the information. Listen to me. You got everything you need right now. Right now, around you somewhere, you got everything you need to accomplish the business, to make the ministry prosper, to make your business prosper, to get healthy, to get whatever you need. You got it right now. And you just keep adding stuff on top of the information that you already got. Well, guess what? If you're not going to execute, you're just wasting time. All right. And so it's imperative for you and I to stop being addicted to information. We don't need not now another process, not another template, because we ain't used the stuff we already got. Ain't no use of you upgrading when you ain't used the grade that you in. There ain't no use of you upgrade. What you upgrading for, and you ain't used the grade that you was in. I hope y'all hearing what I'm saying. You got to start executing. Stop being allergic. And I'm talking to myself. Stop being allergic to execution. Good morning, Sister Angela. God bless you. You got to get up and do it. Man, Apostle Crockett, man, we got it. Man, Val B, Bernie Mac, Angela, all of you that are on, we got it. We got enough information. Now let's put it to work. And let's grind it out, and let's stick with it. Be consistent, as Val B said. And let's just stay with it and go for it and drive and make sure we're doing it. I put Proverbs 11:1 up there because Proverbs says this, that a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. Out of the Holman Christian Study Bible, it says, dishonest scales are detestable to the Lord. What does it mean? Too much of anything is an abomination to the Lord. Ready for this? So you got a whole bunch of information, but no execution. That's an abomination to God. God says you're sitting up and you're out of balance. You got all this head knowledge. You got all this intelligence, but you haven't put your hands to the plow. We, my brothers and sisters, have got to go. So guess what? We have to by faith be fearless. We got to, by faith, get up and go, regardless of what's going on. I had something that hit me a couple of months back, man, and it just devastated my life. Man, I mean, it took me almost completely out of there. But guess what I've learned? It's going to be what it's going to be. It is what it is. But I got to get back to doing what God has called me to do, right? And let the chips fall where they may. You're going to always have people who are going to try to block you from executing. But don't you block yourself. No, I ain't going to do it because they're going to talk about me. They talking about you anyway. I promise you that your name is on somebody's mouth, in somebody's mouth right now, and it's not positive. I hope y'all hearing what I'm saying. Somebody's talking about you right now. So guess what? To Hades with all them folk, man. And go ahead and get you some medicine so you can stop being allergic to execution. Get that business off the ground. Get that ministry going, man. Get that ministry, get that thing to moving. Yeah. Okay. People ain't come back yet. Don't worry about it. Work with the people that you got. man, and find out who ready to go and who ready to make things happen in your business. Man, your business. Quit putting all your energy and making other people rich. Some of y'all are some of the most talented, vivacious, man, you got the most powerful intelligence, and you're making people rich. They at home chilling because you working. The day of the get you is over, man. You got to use that talent and those skills for you. Yeah, it's okay. And I've said this to my church, and I'm going to say this to y'all. God never intended for us to work for each other. Catch this. He never intended for us to work for each other. He intended for us to work with each other. He made us co-regents. And so we shouldn't. And that's why you're frustrated, because you're working for somebody. No. You're supposed to be working with somebody. And until you get to the place where you're working with, you're going to be frustrated. I talked about yesterday that we don't operate from the position. We're not going for the victory. We were operating from the position of victory. It's time now. We've got to execute and know that God is with you, and know that no matter what happens, God got your back. It's going to work out. You need to understand that and recognize that. We've got to stop being addicted to information and allergic to execution. Man, when that brother said that, man, I just dropped my phone. I just couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God, forgive me, because I am addicted to information. Some of y'all, when we get off here, you're going to start scrolling again. And and you know what? It is addictive. Man, I have to put my phone down, and I start feeling funny, and I have to pick my phone back up. I gotta get away from that, and I gotta take the information and execute. I got to execute. Everybody that God used in the Bible, they executed. Moses is standing at the Red Sea. Pharaoh's army is closing in behind. And God asked him, what do you have in your hand? And he had a rod, and he raised the rod. He executed. Daniel in the lion's den, what did Daniel do? He prayed. You got to execute regardless of what the situation looked like. And I love David, because David was 5 feet 6 inches like me. David stood before Goliath and he executed. He took the information. He told Goliath, you come to me with the spear and the sword. Look at the information. You come to me with the spear and the sword, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of the armies of Israel. I talked about this yesterday. I'm talking about it again. David had the information, and guess what? He executed. You, my brothers and sisters, you got to execute. Nobody's coming. I can't think of this motivational speaker's name. She said, ain't nobody coming. No, nobody's coming for you. If you don't do it, it won't get done. Nobody's going to help you to make it happen. You got to get up and you got to do it yourself. You got to go. You got to go. It's time now, so that you can live that life your boss is living. So you can live that life that the owner of your company is living. So y'all can sit out on the deck and drink, drinks or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so y'all can have conversations, because you're a boss. You are a boss. Did y'all hear what I just said? You're a boss. And because you're a boss, act like one. Yeah. It's time. Like I said, you're not supposed to be working for nobody. No, and people talk crazy to you and stuff, and and be threatening your check and demerits and all of this stuff, and we're gonna have to write you up. I'm gonna give you a verbal warning and all that. But if you work for yourself, you verbal warn yourself, right? You got to learn how to put the energy that you're putting into other people's stuff into what God has given you. Man, I got to get off here. And I got to attack some stuff that I don't want to attack. But guess what? I'm gonna go for it. I won't go for it. Thank you, Val B, for the accountability and the consistency. I got to go for it, because I got a charge to keep my head up. I got a God to glorify. And it's an abomination to God to have more information and no execution. Hey, Anita, God bless you, my sister. It's an abomination. That's Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination. If the scales are tipped, that's an abomination. If you got more information, but you ain't doing nothing with it, God said that's an abomination. I didn't give you all this information and this knowledge for no reason. I want you to execute. So today, let's begin the process of executing and utilizing the information that we have. Like I said, I don't need no more information. I got a whole lot of information. I got enough. I got it all in my house. I got books in places that they ain't only supposed to be books in. I got books on everything. There is nothing there is nothing that I need in order to be successful except executing with the information that I have. Same thing with you. You got a lot of books, templates, PDFs, downloaded a bunch of stuff, and ain't done nothing with it. The osmosis of execution. Again, I looked up the osmosis. Osmosis is when water transfers to a place where there's not that much water. It's crazy. I looked at the video, and it's like water. If there's a place where there's more salt, the water will move where the salt is because the water wants to balance out, because water is a balance. Ain't that crazy? I was looking at that thing, and they showed the example how on this side of the tube there was water, and on this side there was a little water, but it was a lot of salt. And guess what? When the water began to move toward the place where there wasn't enough water. God is trying to bring balance to your life. He's trying to bring balance to our lives. You want to know why? Because he wants us to be able to expand the kingdom without having to ask the world for nothing. Yeah, I said it in your face. We spend too much time begging and pleading because we want to get tax write-offs from people in the world. When God has called us to be prosperous, he called us to be the lenders and not the borrowers. And we ain't got there yet. It's time now. We got to execute. We got to execute. You understand what I'm saying? We got to execute. You see what I'm saying? So you got to do what God has called for you to do, and you got to do it right now. So let's get up and go. All right? And let's all tie this all in together. Let's stop being addicted to information, and let's stop being allergic to execution, and let's start being accountable and consistent, and let's win. Let's go. It's time for us to do it. Did y'all hear what I just said? It's time, man. It's time. Some of y'all working for people, and so here's the thing: why can other people open up schools but you can't? Why can other people have these businesses that you work for but you can't run your own? Yeah, right. Well, I need the insurance. Well, they'll give insurance to small business. They got insurance for that. Where they got good health care. Well, get your own. Make your money. It's time for us to be able to be free, because some of y'all, if we call the prayer revival, some of y'all couldn't come because you're at work. And the boss ain't gonna let you go. But if you your own boss, you'll call in and say, hey, look, I'm on my way. We gotta go. Man. Addicted to information. Allergic to execution. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing to God. I'm apologizing to y'all. Some stuff I've been supposed to have done. Y'all pray for me here. And I pray for those of you who have the spirit of procrastination hovering over you, the spirit of procrastination. We rebuke that spirit of procrastination right now, and we unleash the spirit of productivity in the name that's above every name, in the name of Jesus. We will be productive. I want to be a type A personality. I want you ain't got no administrative assistant. Be your own administrative assistant, right? You ain't got no CPA. Be your own CPA. Whatever you got to do, it's time for you to do it. Rise up, champions. Rise up, y'all. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's stick with it. And I like Babby said, I'll see you at the top because that's where I'm going to be. But come on, y'all. Let's go. It's time. You stressing out about other people's stuff. You got to come to work. People bringing all their problems to work. You got your own problem. You got to listen to that, plus do your job. Then when people don't show up, you got to do folk job and all that. But they don't want to give you no pay, though. They don't want to give you no increase. They keep talking about it. You understand what I'm saying? They keep doing all that. But yet still, they know they'll call you in and all that stuff, man. The day of the Geechee is over, bro. The day of the Geechee is over. It's time now for all of us to rise. And let's go. We're going to execute. And let's hold each other accountable. Are you executing? Can I inbox you and say, hey, bro, what you doing, bro? Have you worked on? We need to get together and to hold each other accountable. Those of you that's willing to, we need to get together and let me find out what your dreams are. You ain't got to tell me all your business, but how can I help you to stay consistent with what you're doing? And you do the same for me. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, because the rich people do it all the time. Man, the rich people get together and they pull their money together and they'll go buy a business, right? And then split up the profits. Then they go buy another business and split up the profit. Trust me, I know a man right now today, all he do is just buy up struggling companies, get them on their feet and then sell them. That's all he do. That's all he do. That's all he do. He probably he probably done retired now. And he gave it to his son. And all they do is buy companies, get them on their feet and sell them. Buy companies, get them on their feet. Well, guess what? God ain't a respecter of person. If he'll let that man do it and let his children do it, he can help us to do it too. Man, we got to do it. I was listening to Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart said, I don't understand what it is about us. We always tearing each other down. It's that crab mentality. We got to rebuke that, man. Rebuke procrastination. Rebuke that crab mentality. Man, as long as you stay in your lane, you should not be jealous because other people are moving and progressing. I want everybody I'm connected to win. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to fulfill their purpose that I'm connected to. I want them to. Even my enemies, I want them to fulfill their God-given purpose, because the reason why they hating on you, because they're not executing the information that they got from God. I said that in your face. It's time now. It's time for us to do what we got to do. It's time for us to go and grow. Y'all pray for your boy. I got to hit it, man. I got some stuff I really don't want to do, but I'm getting ready to do it, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to be praying for you. You pray for me as we go forward. We're moving from information to execution, and then watch what happens. We'll have a testimony. Hey, let's go ahead by faith, and let's say we're going to have us a party. Yeah. We'll pick a place, because we're going to be balling out the frame, where we'll go and we'll just celebrate the fact that on November the 30th, around the 11:34 a.m. time, we decided to execute, and now we're balling out the frame in Jesus' name. We're expanding kingdom. Man, I want to get to the place that when the church needs something, I can just write a check for it. I speak that by faith. I'm gonna be a billionaire. Yeah. I'm gonna be a billionaire. I'm going for billionaire status. You understand what I'm saying? Because if Jay-Z and them can do it, right? If once again Rihanna and them can do it, if was it Dre Beats, what's his name? Dr. Dre. If all these folk can become billionaires, Kanye West and all these folk can become billionaires, God and I respect their person. I love Jesus, Jesus love me. I'm going for it. I'm believing God that I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do what God has called for me to do, but I gotta start executing. If you can believe it, you can receive it. When you believe it, when you conceive it and you believe it, you'll receive it. So let's execute. Let's go get it. It's your Facebook pastor and friend, your YouTube motivator, your Instagram inspirer saying, let's go. It's time now for us to expand the kingdom. If this has been a blessing to you, you like to sow into what we're doing, you can hit me up on my Cash App, $ Eric McCright. Let's go. Let's get it. I'll talk to y'all later on. Love y'all. Bye-bye.